Hey guys, so if you guys have not heard, the market is bouncing back. The market is on fire. So we have recently had with the tariff news and tariff war we had going on with China, President Trump has now, as of May 13th, released that he is going to get rid of the tariffs. So what this means is it's good for the stock market. The stock market is rallying. So we are off our April 7th lows. The S&P is up about 5% in a week. So just as fast as the market falls, it recovers. So this is what's important to remember. It's important to remember that if you want to make your first $1,000 in a market, the best way to do it in the market is to invest when there's a market crash, when there's a market pullback. So we saw a 20% drawdown, which was the perfect time to get in. But the market is not back at the all-time high, so it actually is still recovering. This is still a good time to invest. So what I would be investing in is index funds. Top stocks that I like would be NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple. So if you want to get your first $1,000, what I would do is start with a small amount of money, whatever you have. And in times like this, where we have a market pullback, this is the best time to put money in the market. And as an example, I always tell people about this example. I invested about $450 into Apple and Nike stock, held this stock. The stock is now close to $6,000. I've never added any more to it, but this stock is simply, I just reinvested. Whenever I start investing, I put my dividends on automatic reinvest. So with Apple, Microsoft, they pay me a dividend, and the dividend is basically the payment they're paying you for holding the stock. So when you buy these stocks and we have a 10%, 20% drawdown, it's time to jump in to get some index funds. And when the market is fearful, it's time to be greedy, as Warren Buffett said. So I saw the market draw down to 20%. When they hit that 20% bear market, that's when those people started buying. So people were waiting for that 20% drawdown. They were freaked out. And the VIX, which is a volatility index, which I follow, when that hit 51, that was the highest I remember seeing it, which over 25 is pretty much a time that you can start buying stocks. Over 30 is good, 40s and 50s, you want to pretty much be going all in, buy as much as you can. That's what I did. So over the years, I started with about a mere $450. I've grown that to over six figures now. And I did that because I invested in market crashes when the market was down. I had time to invest and I should have invested. My only regret is I didn't invest more. I should have invested more when the market pulled back, and I didn't. So now I've got into NVIDIA early. I've got into Apple early. I got into Microsoft. I've been in Tesla because Tesla is so volatile that it will have pullbacks. It's going to come down. So I bought Tesla at great entry prices. And what I've done is I look at the high. I mark off 10, 20, 30% and find a price I want to get in. I set an alert. What I use is TD Ameritrade. So I have my alert set. And when it hits my price, I buy it. If you can't pull the trigger, what you should do is take the money that you want, load up in a brokerage account, set it on good until close. So good until filled. So when you put this order in a volatile market, that when it hits your price target, you don't have to go and buy these shares because it'll just buy it for you automatically. This is what I did. I bought NVIDIA. Went from about a high of $150 down to about $89. So I was buying around $95 and I had my price target set. So it bought it for me. It notified me and I bought the stock. But this is the time that you should be investing in 2025. This market pullback that we had for April, it was scary, but it only lasted for about a little over 30 days. So now as of May 13th, President Trump has announced that we are going to have tariffs going away. We're only about 10 or 20% on China, so which is good news. The market has been rallying. So I've been in calls. I sold Amazon calls I was up on. I've sold NVIDIA calls that I was up over 100%, which today I would have been up over 200%. And the NASDAQ is up 12% in the past month. So just as fast as the market falls, it recovers. So if I had $1,000 to invest, what I would be doing is I would be looking to put this money into the S&P. I'd be probably buying QQQ, and I'd probably buy NVIDIA. So what I like also is, I want to make another video about this, but I think that something really good to get into is ETFs. And ETFs are exchange traded funds, which allows you to buy a bunch of different stocks into one basket, is what I like to call it. So for technology, you have XLK, which I buy options calls on those. My only regret is that when the market pulled back, I did not buy enough. So do not try to fish for the bottom. Get in when the market is low. Hold these. This is money that you don't need for 2 to 3 years. This money that you should put in. So my long-term investing. I'm planning to hold these for probably 30 to 35 years. This is money that I don't really need, money that I am making from, real estate investments that I'm making from working, from being a realtor. So when I sell a house in Virginia, I take money from that, and I take my real estate money and I put that into long-term investing. And I also trade, since I've learned about options. Options are basically you're buying a contract betting that a stock or an index will go to a specific price by a specific date, and it does expire. If it goes in your direction, then you can make money. If it goes against you, you can lose money. And you do have the Greeks like theta decay, which is how much you lose per day, is not going in your direction. And then we have the delta, which is the percentage chance that the stock could go or end up in the money. You have a strike price. So let's say Apple's at $100. You think in a month or 2 months, it's going to go from $100 to $125. $125 would be your strike price. That is your goal price. So options are another way to play a market drawdown. I've made money, and when the market recovers quickly, I've also played calls to make money and then take that money. And what I've learned is you take 50% of your long-term or your trading money and put that into long-term investing, and that's how you really grow. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I like to explain investing to you. I like to know what you guys have as far as interest, what your questions are. If you guys do the channel, subscribe right now, and I will see you guys in the next video.